frustrating. And then there's other days where you feel like you've been dragged out of hell. Big chunk of work. Oh my God, that's so good. Because I am struggling. I am so far out of my routine, it's not even funny. Given that it's a Monday morning, just before 9:30, I feel like it's the perfect time to start trying to get me back into my routine, especially because starting this week, I am working on my structural edit for what will be my 4th published novel. For the last few weeks while I've been waiting on that edit, I've been very, very out of my routine because I've had some house projects I've been working on. Specifically, if you think, oh, you look like you're in a new place, that's because I am. My partner and I swapped offices, so I'm in here now. I also did the planning for what will be my 5th published novel. So if you want to see that process, you can go watch my recent vlog, which I'll leave a link to in the description. But on Friday, I got my edits back, which means it is time to get back into focus mode. So I've signed up to host writing sprints again starting this week. I took a little break from my writing sprints while I was waiting on my edits, and I haven't actually sprinted since like the first week of January, so it's feeling really weird to be going back to it. But I am hosting 4 writing sprints today: 10, 11, 12, and 1. I have a lot to get done today. My partner and I are going away for a long weekend with our dog from Friday to Monday. And so I have a condensed week, but I have a lot that I need to get done. I need to get my edit plan done so that when I get back, I can hit the ground running with my edits. I've got a few other things I need to send to my publisher. I need to get this room done and dusted so that I've not got chaos around me while I'm trying to do my edits. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to do a brain dump of everything that I need to do this week. And then I'll break that up into day by day to-do lists. And then this week, I will bring you along with me as I am building my edit plan for SP4. If you haven't watched my previous video about getting my editorial feedback and sort of processing that and the nature of that feedback, you can go watch that beforehand. You'll get a little bit of that in this video, but if you want more detail, you're always welcome to go back and watch that. Again, I'll leave a link in the description. But hopefully it'll be interesting to you to see how I take that kind of holistic structural feedback and I translate that into a practical editing plan, because that's always the challenge with a structural edit. Is you get this feedback that's like, we need to know more about this character's motivations, or we need to change this sort of big story idea, or we need to move this sort of off the page and more into summary. But then when you start looking at the manuscript itself, it's like, okay, but how do I do that? And so this week is when I'm making a lot of the decisions around how I'm going to do that, so that then in subsequent weeks, I can just be going through and doing it and kind of following a little bit of a to-do list. I find that edits are more enjoyable when I'm able to do that, rather than feeling like every single chapter, every single day of work is a new challenge. Let's start with our brain dump and then separating out our to-dos so that I'm ready for the sprint in about half an hour.
Train ride just to see you, ride for hours just to please you. You don't know how much I need you.
Okay, so I finished my to-do list for the week, and I've got quite a lot to do today. Not too many individual to-dos, but each one is quite chunky. I need to polish up my synopsis for SP5 to send to my editor. I also need to write up the blurb for SP6 and send that to my editor. I have a little mini outline of that. I don't have a blurb written yet, so I need to write that blurb. I'm hoping that each of those will take no more than 1 writing sprint each. Then I'll do another writing sprint to collate all my corrections for You've Got Chainmail for the manuscript to send to Kara. Yes, You've Got Chainmail is already out in the world. Yes, I have found mistakes in the book because that's just how it is. I was listening to the audiobook as I was writing SP4 and I found a couple of things that I want amended. So I've got to send those corrections to the editorial assistant. So SP5 synopsis, SP6 blurb, You've Got Chainmail corrections. I also need to finish The Office today. which involves putting up my fairy lights. I started to put up the clips for them the other day and I ran out of the little clips. So I need to finish putting those up. I need to put up some wall shelves. I need to clear the rubbish that's in here. Like anytime I've taken something out of a box or something, I've just chucked the box in the corner and all the packaging. So I need to clear all of that. I need to tape down the rug. And actually, I'm not going to tape it down. I have a carpet pad that I'm going to use in the end. I need to finish putting all my little decor bits where they're supposed to go. And then I need to film my outro for that video. Now, if you've already seen that video, you will have already seen all of that happening, and that is because I am overlapping the filming of these videos. So you've got a little sneak peek there. And then finally, I also need to take my dog for a walk today. So that's my to-do list for today. I have also done my to-do lists for the next 3 days after that, for the rest of my working week. Hopefully I don't have any freelance work on this week, which, you know, sucks from an income perspective, but is very convenient for how much I actually have to get done this week. I've got about 15 minutes still until the writing sprint start, but I'm going to go ahead and start. You know what? I'm going to start with the You've Got Chainmail corrections because I actually think those will be quite quick because I know what they are. I just need to find the exact pages for them. So let's do that. Need to send a couple of blurbs to my editor. That's me. Okay, excellent. Well, let's go ahead and get started, and I'll call you all back at 5 to 11. Okay, see you shortly. Almost done with the blurbs that I was writing, so I'm going to be sending those to my editor in the next hour. Perfect. Okay, excellent. Well, I think that's all of us. I will call you back at 5 to 12. Okay? Happy writing. Thank you. So as you will have heard me say, I've pretty much finished the blurbs. So what I'm just going to do is I'm actually going to do the edits to the SP4 blurb that Jenny sent through to me last week. That was on my to-do list for tomorrow, but I'm actually going to bring it forward to today just because I've gotten through the rest of these things faster than I expected to. And that way I can send all of that through to her at once. And then that's everything that I owe my editor all circled off. So I don't have to do it in multiple bits. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I've done that and I still have like almost half an hour left in the sprint. So I'm going to start doing stuff to the office. And I think what I'm going to try to do is clear up the rubbish and maybe clear the windowsill as well.
I don't have to try to be the one celebrity chewing on a bit of leaving a routine story.
And I was sending the blurbs to my editor, which I did, and my goal is to do a little bit more around the office this hour and get some lunch. Well, I think that's all of us. Those of you that are going, it was lovely to see you. Those of you that are coming back later, see you then. And for everyone else, let's get started and I'll call you back at 5 to 1, okay? up taking the entire sprint. So just getting ready to call everyone back in about a minute and a half. And then in the next hour, my goal is going to be to get my fairy lights up.
Open country with you on my own. When you're giving me this side by side, you bet I'm gonna rip around. You got me out there. You got me out there now. When you're giving me this side by side, you bet I'm gonna rip around. You got me out there. You got me out there now. When you're giving me this side by side, you bet I'm gonna rip around. You got me out there.
Sunlight, so about Kinsley size, 10 to 12, so we don't know. Yeah.
Let's crack on. Loads to do.
Thanks, Allison.
Time to enjoy.
You know how some days you wake up and like it might take you a minute to get out of bed, but you know, once you're up, you're up. And then there's other days where you feel like you've been dragged out of hell, and every step that you take in the conscious world is a toil. That is how I feel today. That is why I made an extra large cup of tea for myself. And so I would like a little bit of appreciation for the fact that despite the fact that I'm not hosting the 10 o'clock sprint, I have still sat down for the 10 o'clock sprint to start. Because I didn't have to do that. I chose to do it. No, all jokes aside, I do have a lot to do today. I managed to get some stuff done yesterday, as you saw, but still have a lot to do. Specifically today, I need to do some chapter summaries. So I want to go through the entire manuscript today and do bullet point summaries of what happens in each chapter, so that then tomorrow I can turn that into an edit plan. I can kind of go chapter by chapter and apply the changes that I need to apply within the plan, which will then become my action list for actually doing the edit. So one of the things, for example, that I need to work on is putting more of my FMC's backstory and like her life motivations into the early parts of the story. But I also need to work on the pacing for the early parts of the story. So if I have a bullet point list of what's happening, for pacing, I might be able to say, trim this, cut this. If I have like A, B, C, D, E things happen, I might be able to say, trim B, cut D, insert more explicit explanations into E. And then when I go to do the edit, I know exactly where I'm inserting things, and I don't have to like go through each chapter fresh wondering what I need to do to that chapter. I will of course do a pass like that, but I want to do it after I make the changes that I know I need to make. Does that make sense? Anyway, so today I need to do those chapter summaries so that I have something to work from. I also have my builder coming today to start talking about our bathroom renovation. He's coming at 4. I need to, now that there's daylight, probably right now actually, first thing I need to do is just film after shots of the office in daylight. I did take some last night, but it was dark, and so I had like all the lights on, whereas now I want to take it like with the sunlight coming in. So I need to do that actually probably throughout the day, because the morning light is really good on this desk, but then the afternoon light is really good on the bookshelves. So throughout the day, I need to kind of take beauty shots of the office. And then ideally, I do need to take my dog on a walk. That's what I need to do. I'm going to start with some beauty shots of the desk area, and then I'm going to jump into the chapter breakdowns.
I could sit around and wait all day. You lay easy on my mind. Like a candle, I just burn away.
Okay, I actually got 11 chapters done. I think it was so quick because some of the ones I was doing were like the chapter where they're getting together, and so I obviously wasn't like bullet pointing the sex scene. was just saying they get together. I mean, I could have bullet pointed the sex scene, but that's not helpful for these purposes because I was told that the spicy scenes are fine. Actually, I was told they were very good. It's about to be the end of this second sprint and I've gotten 11 done, which means I actually only have 10 left to go. I am getting peckish, but I'm gonna try to get at least 5 of these remaining 10 done before I let myself eat lunch. And then like making and eating lunch will take me like half of a sprint. So that sounds about right.
With anybody but you.
Okay, I actually got 7 done and I am still eating my food, but I think that's pretty good going. So in the last sprint, my last sprint of the day, just need to finish my lunch and then I've got 3 chapters to do and that's it. So I should finish that easily within the sprint. And then what I think I'll do is I'll copy all of these chapter summaries because I'm just doing them in Scrivener next to the chapter. So I'll then copy them all into a Google Doc, which is where I'll make my edit plan. Okay, so I finished it. I've got about 12 minutes left in the sprint. And if John's here for sort of 30, 45 minutes, then after he's gone, I should have a little bit more time for the beauty shots that I want to take. So finishing the sprint, taking Kirby out, clearing for John coming, then beauty shots. And then I should have the evening to start doing some crochet projects. I haven't crocheted in like well over a week because just getting the office done has been sort of the top priority for me. So definitely want to do that. I just got accepted as a pattern tester for a cardigan that I want to make. The yarn for that should be coming tomorrow. With the now less than 10 minutes that I have left in the sprint, I'm going to go get changed so that I'm ready for my dog walk. And then that way I can go straight away afterward.
I'll be coming home, then I'll be at your door. When I'll be coming home, I plan to let you know the longing of my heart, the wish I carry high. Whenever we're apart, it takes me through the night. When I look deep into your eyes, when I look deep into your eyes.
Good morning. It is Wednesday. It's about 10:30. I'm a bit late getting started today. I'm not hosting until the 12-in-1 sprints, and so unlike yesterday, I did not feel a particular urgency to still be here for the 10 o'clock sprint, so I will join for the 11 o'clock. Don't actually remember what I filmed up to yesterday. Yeah, so our builder came. That meeting went well. I should know over the next couple of weeks when we're going to be doing that work, which is going to be a big chunk of work. So the big to-dos today, I need to start editing the office redo vlog. That's gonna be a monster. Like, I've got hours of footage for that. I think normally when people film, they have a lot more footage to work from than I do, but because I use my phone, I'm always worried about storage space, so I don't just like let the camera run for a long time, which means I have less footage to work with, but oh well. For this one, I do have a ton, so I need to start editing that. I also need to start the audiobook for The Dark Mirror by Samantha Shannon. You might be like, why is that on your to-do list? I am interviewing Samantha Shannon on the 11th of March as part of her book tour for the new book, and I have read the physical copy of that. They gave me an ARC, but it's been a couple months ago now, and also I've listened to all the other author's preferred text versions on audio over the last few months. So I really want to listen to the audio for The Dark Mirror as well, not only just so I've listened to all the audios, but also so that I can refresh myself on the story a bit closer to when the interview is going to be. So that came out yesterday. So I want to start the audio today. And then, of course, finally, what you're all here for, my edit plan. I, as you saw yesterday, collated all of the chapter synopses, the chapter breakdowns into a Google Doc. What I now need to do is go through and apply my edits that I know I need to make to that breakdown. So I'm making new versions of the chapter outlines with the edits in mind. The tricky part is going to be the first couple of chapters, because basically, I think I've explained this in previous videos, so stick with me if you've not heard about this before, but this is a book that exists in the same world as You've Got Chainmail. They function as standalones, but it's the same world and it's the same structure. So basically, this group of friends is playing Dungeons and Dragons together as part of the story. And so scattered throughout the story are these interlude chapters, which are their D&D games written out as fantasy. They're very short. They're like 500 to 700 words each. I've got those interlude chapters from the perspective of a character called Yorick, which is the D&D character of my MMC. So we've got a dual POV romance, my FMC and my MMC, and then we also have interspersed fantasy mini chapters from a third POV, which is my MMC's D&D character. Now, where this complicates the beginning of the story is because I have the first interlude chapter at the very beginning. So the book opens on one of these D&D chapters. The next chapter in this draft that I've done, so the first chapter of the real story, is my FMC. And my editor has said that just like in You've Got Chainmail, where the first chapter is Morgan's D&D character and then the first real chapter is Morgan herself, she's saying if the interlude chapters are going to be from Yorick's perspective, that the first chapter of the real story needs to be from Phil's perspective rather than Amy's. However, I would really like, because I've got a really nice alternating, like it's very, very truly 50-50 in the sense that it's always Amy, Phil, Amy, Phil, Amy, Phil throughout the story, just with these interludes spaced throughout. And I don't want to mess that up. So currently I've got my first two chapters of the real story after the first interlude as Amy and then Phil. Actually, really it's the first three. So Amy, Phil, Amy. I think I need to turn those 3 chapters into 4 chapters and do Phil, Amy, but without adding any word count. In fact, the whole first part of the story needs to be tightened quite a bit. So all that to say, when I'm doing these new chapter outlines with the edits incorporated, I'm gonna have to do new chapter outlines for these sort of remixed chapters that I need to create from the existing material, which is going to mean rewriting those initial chapters, which is fine. I don't think it's going to be too difficult because all of the content is right. It's just making sure that like the sequence of events is maintained as I mix those things around. So that's going to be a little bit complicated. I would like to get this done today. Other than dinner, nothing that I have on my to-do list for today is like time of day dependent the way that it was yesterday with like John coming over and taking the footage of the office, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna basically just focus on these new chapter breakdowns until I've got them finished. And then I'll move on to video editing. I'll stop when I need to make dinner, and that's probably when I'll start listening to the audiobook, is when I'm working on dinner. It's about 15 minutes until the next sprint starts, so I'll join at 11. Cool.
I'll be coming home, and I am on my way. When I'll be coming home, I wanna see you play the music of your heart.
Okay, quick break in the edits because I've just had a really exciting delivery. So for those of you that have been around the channel before, you know that my favorite like glassware and stuff that I use is from a company called Fablewood Goods. I included some of it in my gift guide last year. This isn't sponsored, by the way. This is just a fun thing that I've got. Anyway, Fablewood Goods. I got talking to Kaya, who owns the business, over on Instagram because she started writing a book, and so we were talking about that. And I was getting ready to place an order for some more glasses anyway, and she said, do you want me to send you some of the spring stuff as well, and you can share it in your videos and stuff? I was like, yes, they're literally my favorite glasses. So some of this I bought myself, some of it Kaya has kindly included for me. So let's see what we've got. And she's also giving me a discount code for you guys. I don't, at the current moment, know what that's going to be, but I will put it on the screen here. Okay, this is definitely glass. It's glass shaped. So this is one of the ones that I ordered, that I was purchasing. And it's got these lovely dragons on it. Isn't that so nice? How great is that? And these are printed on the glasses, so they are dishwasher safe. But like, I love the shape of glass. I'm obsessed with it, and that's why I love these glasses. I love that they're dishwasher safe. As the weather warms up, which it is warming up at the moment, I'm gonna switch to iced coffees in the morning. Like, the way I make my iced coffee is tailored to the size of these glasses. I love them so much. I have like 5 of them myself already. So I think this is the other one that I've purchased. Yes. And this is the winter one. So it's got the little like berries and pine cones and all the snow and the little white sparkles. Isn't it so pretty? So those are what I purchased. Everything else in this box Kaya gifted to me. I'm so excited. So I'll show you the spring stuff. That's what she sent me, is the spring line that's releasing soon. And this is one of the spring glasses. There's a couple of them, but this is one of them. And I mean, come on, especially look at it like next to the winter one. Like, it just is, it's so pretty. I love it. The little morals. Oh, love it. Oh, she also sent me some fun straws. So I've got a blue one here. And a white, no, yellow one. But like, look how well those go with the new spring glass. Come on. I mean, look at that. How perfect is that? Okay, here. And then I've also got some stickers and some magnetic bookmarks. And these are the other spring print. So the other spring glass is with these fairies on them. And then the little matching stickers. It looks like there's loads of stickers in here actually. So we'll open that. And then I've also got a mushroom one. That's another bookmark. Let's see what stickers we've got. Yeah, so we've got a few of the fairies, some mushrooms, a couple different versions. Ooh, pretty moth. Oh, I love that. Oh, it's so cute. It's like a little fox in its den. Oh my god. And then the book dragon. So this is one of the other mugs that I have, is with this design on it. So it's like bigger and wraps around the mug. I love it. I love my book dragon. I will make pride of place for him somewhere. And then I think the last thing that's in here, yes, which I am so excited about, is this candle. And it's called Feywild. Which, obviously Feywild is like just a cool name, but also this is like the Fey realm in D&D, which is very exciting. But like, look how beautiful it is, very springtimey. I love the like apothecary style vessels for the candles. And this fragrance is berry, vanilla, amber, and saffron. I'm very picky about candle fragrances. Oh my god, that's so good. Oh my god, that's so nice. It's very like, the berry and vanilla are very forward, but the amber and saffron are like keeping it from being too sweet to Bath and Body Works, you know? Oh my god, and it's a wooden wick. I didn't even know that. Oh, I'm so excited. God, I don't even want to put this on my bookshelf. I want to put it next to my desk so I can just smell it all the time. I do need a candle on my desk because I like to sometimes during writing sessions light a candle, and that's like how I get in the zone. I've never had a wood wick candle for my writing candle though. So we're definitely gonna have to put that somewhere. I just also love that she uses all recyclable packaging. So all of that is just gonna go straight in my recycling bin. I'm gonna put these through the wash today so that I can start using them because I am so excited. I think we need to light this together. So for the next writing sprint, we're gonna light this. Hopefully it'll help me lock in a little bit more because I'm not very focused today. And at some point I'm gonna need to find places for these stickers. I've had a few stickers that I've collected over the last year or so that I need to put somewhere, but my Kindle's full, my laptop's full. So we're gonna need to figure out together what I can cover in stickers with all the lovely new ones that I've got. Thank you, Kaya, so much for these wonderful gifts. And then of course the two that I purchased. And if you want to get something from Fablewood Goods, use the discount code that I've got on the screen now. I'll leave it in the description as well. The international shipping is a little bit pricey, but hopefully the discount code can help offset that a little bit. And I just think the quality is so good that I will always order from there when I can. So let's put all this stuff up.
Found myself in the cardboard box, feeling sitting deep down. I found us back now, I can't escape. Oh, you're not one you get rid of.
Okay, so I have finished most of it, which went much faster than I expected. What I still need to do is like the first 25% of the book, which sounds like a lot, and it is. So I will need to start that in the next hour. Well, I'll start it right now because I've got 10 minutes left in this sprint still, but it's going to take me more than the next hour, I think. But basically, I've reworked most things later on in the story, but if you recall from my edits, one of the things that I need to do is tighten up the pacing of the first 70 pages. And really it's the first like 100 pages I actually think need to be tightened up a bit, because the 30 pages after that are basically one chapter that's really long, covers a lot of different things. So I think that I do need to tighten up the first sort of 100 pages, which is the first kind of quarter of the book, just over. I think what I need to do is actually, so I kind of started from the midpoint and then went to the end and then started going backwards from the midpoint until I got to the point where I knew it was stuff that I needed to tighten. And now what I think I need to do is go back to the beginning. I've got all of my plot points on the side. I just need to kind of rearrange those into these different chapters. I need to not be afraid to chop and change these things. Like, I know I'm going to have to rewrite these chapters anyway. So chopping and changing, like whose POV a certain thing takes place in, changing the passage of time during those sections. Like, I think all of that needs to be up for debate, and I need to be up for changing it. It's just going to take a little bit more mental energy than what I was doing so far, which was kind of just like a copy and paste exercise because I was pulling everything from existing material. This is going to take a little bit more puzzling energy, I guess. I'm going to try to get as much of it done in the next hour as I can. I can smell lunch, so that will be happening at some point. Yeah, no time like the present. Let's do it.
I linger as the ground shakes. Paper cuts on what could have been. Every morning made us better. If only you'd known it when you had me.
Okay, so I actually finished that bit quicker than I expected to. I think it was pretty clear how things needed to get broken up in order to work. So what I need to do now is go back through all the things that I put in here that I need to mention, things I need to add, things I need to remove, and just make sure that I've done that within the revisions that I've done.
Carry me without caution. Want something else, but I end up here. You give me no other option. I linger as the ground shakes. Paper cuts on what could have been. Every morning made us better. If only you'd known it when you had me. You had a crown on your back then.
Good morning. I've already been doing some work this morning. It is 11:15. I'm on my second sprint of the day. I am still in my pajamas, and I'm gonna be honest, I probably will be all day. Yeah, I had a really frustrating night last night because I was trying to edit the vlog, which is done now and is going live either today or tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. But because I film everything on my phone, the easiest workflow for me is to airdrop all the footage to my laptop, have it local on my laptop, edit it, and then export the final video to an external hard drive where I then keep it and also use that to then upload it to YouTube. That's been the easiest workflow for me. However, for the vlog that I was editing yesterday, I had nearly 200 video files, hours of footage. I mean, it was me like putting together bookshelves, stocking these bookshelves 3 different times, because if you haven't seen that video, I basically did it by color, then by author, and then the way that it is now. I had hours and hours and hours of footage for this, and I'm not used to, I know a lot of people that are vloggers work with, you know, hours and hours of footage all the time. I'm not used to that, and my tech setup isn't used to that. So my computer was running out of disk space. It like wouldn't do anything. It would make me, I had to shut down everything else that was running on my computer. I had to go through and like clean up space for it. And I do this regularly. Like I am good with reviewing my storage and my files pretty regularly. I only keep things that I need. And yet this was still happening. And that was really frustrating. So it probably took me 50% longer than it should have to get the video done, just because I was having to deal with that over and over again. But it also meant that all of the like simultaneous filming that I've been doing in terms of, you know, I'll have one clip that is for this vlog that you're watching right now, and then another clip that was for the office makeover, like in a row. I've now had to delete all of those things off my computer, despite the fact that I had already transferred across the footage for the next video I need to edit, which I'm supposed to start editing today. And I had to delete all of that. So now I have to go through and airdrop all of that to myself over again. And again, that's like multiple hours of footage again. So I'm just, oh, it's so frustrating, and I don't know how to do it any better. I'm sure there are better ways to do it, but everyone that I look at is like assuming that you're using an external camera, and I'm just not, and it's not in the cards for me. But my computer, which isn't very old, by the way, this computer is like a 2020. It's a 2020 computer, so it's like, well, I guess it is like 5 years old now. Jeez. I guess I just need to upgrade the memory when I get my next computer. But like, I don't want a new computer. This computer does everything I need it to do, except it's struggling with this, and I don't know what to do with that. So if anyone's got any tips that are not get an external camera or upgrade your computer, because I am struggling. And to think that at one point I was thinking about downloading The Sims onto this computer. Yeah, fucking right. It would die. It would just fall over and die. Anyway, so this morning, actually before breakfast, I got up and I finished like my thumbnail and I uploaded the video. Then in my first sprint, I was looking up stuff to do this weekend because my partner and my dog and I are going to the Forest of Dean, which is just a few hours away from us in the UK. It's like on the border of England and Wales. Anyway, we're staying in a nice cute place there. I will be doing a vlog of that, don't you worry, because it's gonna be a lovely, cozy, outdoorsy and reading kind of weekend for me. But I was just looking up things for us to do, places for us to go for walks, places for us to go eat, stuff like that. It's just a weekend, but I like to kind of have an idea of what we want to do, because that allows me to just better relax in the moment. If I've got too many open loops around what we're gonna do, then I struggle to relax. So that's why I wanted to do that. I sent it through to my partner. So now, this hour, I need to get the footage for the next video back onto my computer, and I want to get that done this sprint because I'm already a third of the way into the sprint, so that then in the 12 o'clock sprint I can turn my attention to actual book editing. The thing I need to do for my edit plan today, which is the last thing I need to do, shouldn't take too long, but I am going to be able to show you, not the actual edit plan because it's got like the plot in it, but I'm going to make a template for you. So I'll show that to you and show you how to access it in just a minute. But first I need to get all this footage onto my computer, which means I need you to come here because you are on my phone. Sorry. Okay, it's about at the end of the 12 o'clock sprint. I finished my edit plan and I have just recorded a video for you about the template. So I'm gonna jump over to screen record Sam to walk you through it. Okay, so I think I figured out how to make this a template for you. It's currently just a private page, but by the time I post it, this will be a template. So this is gonna be your edit plan template, and this is roughly what I've done for myself. To be transparent, I did it for myself to start with in Google Docs, but I use Notion for everything, so I wanted it in Notion. So this is what I've created. So The page is just called Edit Plan Template, but this database is really the main thing. And I want to show you how to use it. If you've not used Notion before, this is not sponsored or anything. I just love Notion. I pay for the premium, but it is free and you would be able to use this within free. But basically a database is kind of like a table. And so what I've done is I've set it up where each item is a chapter. And if you click into one of these chapters, it actually creates a separate page for it. And I haven't done anything with that page functionality, but we're going to come to that in a minute because I think you could do something interesting with that if you wanted to. What you're going to do is you're going to have all of your chapters here. So every chapter is going to have a new line. And then you're also going to have your point of view characters. Now, if you just have one point of view character, if your entire story is from the same point of view, then you could just delete this column by just clicking delete property. But for me, I've got 2 point of view characters. Actually, technically I have 3. So I could have character 1, character 2. I could also do character 3 and create that. Then for each chapter, you've got an old chapter breakdown and a new chapter breakdown. So the old chapter breakdown is the synopses that I was doing earlier in the week, which was just summarizing what was currently in those chapters, what's currently going on. The point here is not to be applying any edits that you have. It's just to be summarizing the existing state of the chapters. To do that, you're just going to put in your bullet points here. I'm just using dashes. So again, plot point 1. And then I'm pressing Shift Enter to be able to create a line break within the cell. Plot point 2. And then in the new chapter breakdown, so once you have all your old chapter breakdowns done, then you can go into your new chapter breakdown and you can apply your edits. Now, if like me, you have specific edits that you need to do, I recommend doing this. Actually, maybe I'll make this part of the template. Yeah, I'll make this part of the template. Edits to make. We're going to do a to-do list here. Edit 1, edit 2, edit 3, edit 4, edit 5. Let's just bold this just for vibes. Okay, great. So now we've got our list of edits that we need to make. So now what we can do is we can go through our old chapter breakdowns and we can create new chapter breakdowns. You can either highlight it and copy and paste it and then edit it, or you can just start from scratch. It depends on how much you need to do as to what you'll prefer. And then as you go through, you can be like, okay, I feel like I've covered off edit 1 in all my new chapter breakdowns. Okay, now I feel like I've covered off edit 2. And you can just tick those off as you go to make sure that you've incorporated them properly. So that's what I had done up until today. What I'm now doing in my edits is I'm going through and I'm putting dates against these things. And you can do that from here in the column. So for example, let's say I wanted to do this one on the 5th and 6th. I would just choose the 5th and then I could toggle to include an end date and do the 6th because I think that chapter is going to take me 2 days to do, or maybe a chapter will take you a week, whatever you want to do. Then you can click over to this editing timeline view that I've created and see everything that you need to do and on what days. You can move things around. You should be able to move things around. Maybe you can't. Yeah, you can move things around. And you can also click here where it says no date and you can move things in. So let's say chapter 6, I think I want to do there. And then I think that chapter is going to take me 3 days. So I'm going to drag it across 3 days. See how easy that was? Oh, I've not done chapter 5. I don't like that they don't appear in order in this view, but it is what it is. And chapter 5 is just going to take me 1 day, so I'm going to do it there. And so you can drag it in and start to create your schedule like this. And then as you're going through your edits, you just open up this view and you can be like, okay, time to do chapter 1. You can click on that and you can see your old chapter breakdown, your new chapter breakdown. This is what you're doing. You can also then use this page to take notes. So I'll give you an example of how I would use this. I, for example, have a few things that I need to be on the lookout for as I'm editing that aren't things that would appear in the chapter breakdown, but do need to be considered as I'm doing the structural edit. So for example, chemistry. If I want to keep an eye on the chemistry between characters, that's not necessarily going to show up in the chapter breakdowns. There are key moments of like near misses that show up within there. Those are already there. It's the sort of constant sense of chemistry between them that I need to be editing for. Or maybe I want to be mentioning better how well integrated these families are in each other's lives. But that's, again, not something that's going to show up in the chapter breakdown. So what I would do for that is, if I go back to this table view, before you start putting in all of your chapters, you can go to the little arrow next to new and click new template. And you're going to leave all of this blank, except you're going to put, again, a to-do list in here. You might put chemistry. You might put family integration. You might put ambition. Whatever the things are, you might put sense of place, sensory details. Whatever the things are that you're editing for constantly throughout the story, that's what you would put in here. So this is now a template. I'm just going to put chapter. Now we're going to click that caret again, and where I've just put chapter, I'm going to click on the 3 dots and click set as default for all views in project chapters. And now every time I create a new chapter, so let's say I hadn't done all of these, let's say I'm doing 21, I'm just going to add in 21 there. And you can see how it's got this icon. That means that there's content within that page. So if I click open, you'll see that that to-do list is already there. So now if I go to my editing timeline and I drag in 21 somewhere, when I go to click on 21, I've already got that there. I've got my old and new chapter breakdowns there, and then I can change the status of that chapter. So let's say I'm working on it. It's in progress. I've added 2 other statuses. One is updated and one is edited. And I did both of these for a reason, because typically in a structural edit, what I like to do is I'll go through and do all of the edits I know I need to make per this edit plan. But then once I'm done, I want to give everything one more big pass. So as I'm doing my structural edits, I'll be changing everything to updated, and then you'll see that reflected there. But I won't change it to edited until I do my final pass. If you want to incorporate line edits in there, something like that, you absolutely can. What I will probably end up doing is I will actually use this table for all of my edits. So I would change this column to be structural edit dates, and I would create a separate column for line edit dates. So let's do that so I can show you how that works. Okay, so we've just created that line edit dates, and let's say this line edit date is going to be the 7th of March. So now we've got this editing timeline, which I'm going to rename as structural edits schedule. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and rename this structural edit dates. I'm going to do that. And within my statuses, I think I'm going to add structural done. This is going to be done. Revised. And then line pass done. I just like those to be in order. And then done actually means for me, what is happening? Oh, it's because I'm in the way. Actually means proofed. So now those are my statuses that I've got. So now what I'm going to do in my structural edits schedule, we should see, if we go to calendar, show calendar by structural edit date, which is what we want for the structural edit schedule. But if we now create another calendar view that is line edits schedule, then we want to show calendar by line edit dates. And let's say I still want to be able to see my status, so I'm going to make that visible. And there we have it. It's the same database that's pulling into both schedules. And I used a template to create this, but I could add in anything I want to. I could say, okay, I know for chapter 21 in particular, I'm looking at the friendships, so I want to look at that throughout. Or maybe for chapter 21, I already have a really strong sense of place, so I'm going to go ahead and tick that off. That doesn't impact your template. It's just at that point impacting chapter 21 itself. If you wanted to edit the template, you would need to go into the arrow and then the 3 dots and then edit. That's how you would do that. So I hope that makes sense. The template is just going to be the structural edit dates. I'm going to get rid of the line edit stuff. I'll keep this section up here because I do think that that's useful and I'll be using that myself. And I will simplify the statuses to what I had before, but hopefully that's useful to you. You will need to sign up for Notion before you can use the template, but I'll share the page with you and I'll see if I can find a video of like how to activate a template as well, like how to actually copy it and use it, because I don't actually know. I used to know how to do it, but Notion has updated a lot in the last year, so I'm not sure. So I'll find a video for you and I'll link it down below. That is my edit plan done. I am super excited to hit the ground running next week. I didn't obviously show you my schedule, but it's going to start on Tuesday, which will give me 4 weeks to get it done. It's ambitious, but I know I can do it, and I have to if I want to hit my goals. So I'm going to go use the rest of my day to try to get some more videos edited for you guys. Specifically, I'm going to be working on the one where I actually share my structural edits with you. So if you haven't seen that video yet, it'll already be live. I'll leave a link to it in the description, but make sure you're subscribed so that you see the actual editing videos that I've got coming up, because I'm going to be vlogging everything. I told you at the beginning of the year that I was going to be vlogging more, and I am true to my word. But like I said, let me know if you've got any suggestions for my workflow for filming, because it is not optimized. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.